The modern world is very much like a bright and loud fair where everyone tries to put their goods in the most visible place. Social networks have taught us that any event in our lives requires digital proof. We eat and travel and fall in love under the constant gaze of camera lenses. But if you look closely at your list of friends, you will find a special category of people. Their profiles are empty. Their last photo was uploaded 5 years ago, and they never share their thoughts in public posts. In a world where everyone is shouting, their silence seems like a mystery. Some might think they are boring or that their lives are not interesting enough, but the truth is often much deeper. This silence is not a sign of a lack of life. It is a deliberate choice and a fascinating psychological phenomenon. Today we are going to dive deep into the minds of those who choose to stay invisible in the digital age. One of the main reasons why people post on social media is the search for validation. Every like and every heart is a small signal to our brain that says we are important and we are noticed. This is a very natural human need for social approval. However, the people who never post have a different internal mechanism. They do not need an audience to feel that their experiences are real. If such a person goes on a beautiful mountain hike, they feel the majesty of nature with their own eyes. They do not need to see 100 likes to confirm that the mountain was high or that the sunset was beautiful. Their joy is complete even if no one else knows about it. This is a sign of high psychological self-sufficiency. For them, the internal experience is always more valuable than the external report. They are the masters of their own emotions, and they do not let the internet decide if their day was good or bad. We live in a time when privacy is becoming a rare and expensive luxury. Many people feel that their personal life is a fortress that should not be open to everyone. For a silent user, the idea of showing their children or their home or their private dinner to strangers feels strange and even uncomfortable. They believe that sharing a moment with thousands of people actually dilutes the meaning of that moment. When you turn a private event into a public post, it loses its intimacy. It becomes a product for consumption. People who do not post prefer to keep their most precious memories in their hearts rather than on a server in a data center. They choose to share their lives only with those who are physically present in the room. This allows them to build deeper and more honest relationships without the interference of digital filters. Social networks are designed to make us compare ourselves to others. We see the best moments of other people, and we often feel that our own lives are not good enough. This leads to anxiety and a constant feeling of being in a race that we cannot win. The silent ones have realized that the only way to win this game is not to play it at all. By refusing to post, they step out of the competition. They do not have to worry about whether their car is as new as their friend's car, or if their holiday looks as expensive as their colleague's holiday. This exit from the digital race gives them an incredible sense of freedom. They save a huge amount of mental energy that others spend on trying to look perfect. They live in reality, and in that reality, they are allowed to be messy and simple and authentically themselves. It is a mistake to think that people who do not post are not active on the internet. Many of them are professional observers. They read every news story and watch every video and know everything about their friends. But they choose to remain invisible spectators. In the world of theatre, the audience sees much more than the actors on the stage. While the actors are focused on their roles and their makeup, the audience can see the whole picture. It is the same in social media. The person who is not busy creating content has more time to analyze and think. They notice details that others miss. They see the patterns of behavior and the trends of society. Being a ghost in the machine is a superpower because it allows you to maintain objectivity. You are not dependent on the opinion of the crowd because you are not asking for it. Sometimes the silence is born from a high level of responsibility. There are people who feel that if they cannot say something perfect or show something ideal, then they should stay silent. They look at the professional photos and the deep quotes of influencers, and they feel that their own life does not meet these artificial standards. Initially, this might cause some sadness, but eventually it turns into a peaceful indifference. They realize that they do not owe anyone a show. This realization is very liberating. Instead of spending 2 hours editing a photo and writing a caption, they spend that time reading a book or talking to their parents or working on a real project. They choose substance over form. They choose to be a person who does things rather than a person who talks about doing things. There is a popular term called the fear of missing out, which is the anxiety of not being part of something big. But those who live in digital silence have discovered the joy of missing out. They feel happy because they are not involved in every online argument or every new trend. They do not feel the pressure to have an opinion on every global event. Their mind is quiet and clear. This silence is a form of digital minimalism. Just as some people clean their houses from unnecessary things, these people clean their mental space from unnecessary information. They are the masters of their own attention. They decide what is important and what is not. In a world of constant notifications, this level of control over one's own mind is a very rare and valuable skill. When you don't post about your life, you have more things to talk about when you actually meet your friends. Have you ever had a dinner where everyone already knew what the others did because they saw it all on Instagram? In those cases, the conversation often feels empty. But for the silent ones, every meeting is an opportunity for discovery. They have stories to tell that no one has heard yet. Their relationships are built on real communication and not on checking each other's updates. They value the sound of a voice and the expression on a face more than a text message or an emoji. This makes their social circle smaller but much more meaningful. They prefer to have 3 true friends rather than 3,000 followers. We change every day. Our opinions and our tastes and our dreams evolve as we grow older. The problem with social media is that it creates a permanent digital record of who we were 5 or 10 years ago. For some people, this record feels like a cage. They do not want to be reminded of their old mistakes or their old versions. By not posting, these people allow themselves to change in peace. They are not tied to a specific image or a brand. They can be one person today and a completely different person tomorrow without having to explain it to an audience. This gives them the space for true personal growth. They are not performing for a crowd, they are simply living for themselves. Their identity is a living and breathing thing, not a frozen profile on a screen. As we look towards the future, the number of people choosing digital silence may actually increase. We are seeing more and more people experiencing burnout from the constant noise of the internet. The silent ones are the pioneers of a new way of living in the information age. They show us that it is possible to be part of the modern world without giving away your soul to the algorithms. They remind us that the most important parts of life are invisible. You cannot photograph the feeling of a deep conversation. You cannot record the exact emotion of a quiet morning. You cannot share the soul of a moment through a screen. These things are meant to be felt and lived in the present. So, the next time you see a friend who never posts anything, do not feel sorry for them. Do not think that their life is empty. In fact, it might be more full and more vibrant than the lives of those who post every hour. Their silence is a form of strength. It is a statement of independence. It is a reminder that we are more than our digital profiles. The psychology of the silent ones teaches us a very important lesson. We do not need the applause of the world to be happy. We do not need a camera to make a moment real. Sometimes the most beautiful things in life are the ones that we keep only for ourselves. In the end, your life is not a movie for others to watch. It is a journey for you to experience. And sometimes the best way to enjoy that journey is to put the phone away and just be silent.